In this video, I'm just going to be discussing what Gabriel was thinking during these trades, or at least what I think he was thinking during these trades. Let me give some quick context on what he's using and what he's doing. So he's basically scalping on the DOM. He's also using high-low bars. I'm pretty sure these are 5 seconds. He used to use 5-second and 7-second high-low bars a lot during this time. And then just a heat map. Then he has the recent bid and ask volume on the inside. He's got the current traded volume here, which this is the cumulative one, whereas these reset after about 2.5 seconds, depending on how someone has it set up. But 2500 millisecond is pretty common, somewhere around there. These are just like some jigsaw meters. He's probably not even paying attention to them, or probably not much. On his tape here, he's highlighting the sweep levels when it's sweeping prices, and they're kind of in black when they don't sweep. So I don't think he's looking at the tape much based on the trades that he took. So we're mainly just going to be looking at the DOM here. So and this far right tape here is only showing the above, the orders they hit above the ask or below the bid. This can show kind of like a directional, I can give you a little confluence on sort of like micro level directional stuff. You know, if we continually see that they're going above the offer to take the price, it can be a little added confluence for a bullish bias. Don't think he's looking at that much either right here, but I'll go ahead and get this going here. Yeah, and so we just went up and rejected, as we can see, like right here. So on the micro level, he's probably going to be looking at shorts right here. I'm not sure what happened to the left, but yeah, he's most likely going to be looking at shorts. But if there was like a 1 hour trend or something to the downside, that added some confluence. Not a huge deal if you're scalping though, so that's something that I like to do, is to align those intermediate time frames like 30-minute or 1 hour. If there's a trend, and align it with, your entries. All right, so I need to start paying attention. He's taking an entry here. Let me go back. Okay. Yeah, so it kept stalling out, and we can even see it on the bars there. It was kind of auctioning right there and stalled out. So he's basically just leaning on that where they were absorbing right there, and we could see it right here as well. Yeah, and another thing, I'll pause it real quick, is you can see he's taking profits on the first one really quick. You don't have to do that, but that's the strategy he's using here. The benefit of that is that it gets the risk off the table because he's using a really tight stop. So he can just let the runner run. So that's kind of what he's doing there. He saw some absorption on the offer at near 75 here. So he's basically just leaning against 24.75. Stalling out a little, but he was patient with it. I think I personally would have trailed that second one around 24 roughly. But I mean, he's doing pretty frequent entries, so he's getting back in. But I would have maybe held on to that a bit more. But that's not to say that he did it wrong. It's just a preference. That's just something that I'm a big fan of. If I scalp into a trade and I take some off, I like to find the micro level spot that I can lean on and then just let the rest run and then just be super patient basically without giving back much, you know. So if I put it at 24 roughly and it flushed really hard and stalled at like 17, I would just take profits for sure. That's a pretty nice sized flush, you know. Or if it flushed really hard and through the lows and stalled at 36.10 and you see absorption on the bid, it's very likely in spots like that that it's going to have some kind of retracement back up into this and good chance you'll be giving back profits. So I would let it run. Or I would let it run until that 10 and then I would exit basically down there. I wouldn't be keeping my stop way up here. Or I would take the stop and I'd bring it way down here right behind price. So it might be at like 12 or something. It depends on how it looks, you know. So it's flushing outside of this auction. We can see thin volume over here on the profile. Yeah, and he saw some absorption right there. Kind of stalled out after flushing outside, and they were absorbing at 21.50. They were reloading right there on the offer, so he just moved it down one tick because he's thinking he might not be able to get it, but he doesn't want to chase too hard at like 20 or something because the market loves to come back to the most recent spot where they were reloading at. So he got the fill. It was a really good entry. And he's moving the take profit down. He's just trying to give this a little room to run because, yeah, and see how there's these little battles on the micro level? They're absorbing 300 on the offer, but they're also hitting into the bid. So that gives him a little micro inflection point to lean against and put his stop behind it. That's why he's being patient and he's not trading his P&L and putting it at like 1925 right here. Because that's not where the inflection was. I would have maybe let this one run too, but he's locking in those profits, you know. I mean, he's making over $100 a minute with only 2 lots. You can't really complain with that, right? And it's also not a bad spot to lock in some. We're at the back at the lows here, so typically going to see a bounce or it's going to flush through. So, and we're seeing it stall out and over 600 lots right here. So they were reloading on the bid right here at 17. He might be looking for another short as on this bounce. It's stalling out and they're absorbing in this area. So okay, so that's what he did. I've seen this before, but I don't know the exact trades when he's going to take them. So this one's struggling. One of the trades ended up not working in his favor. Okay, I'm not sure if this was the one. No, it wasn't. Okay. It was struggling, but he was patient with it. And so here's something good that he's doing is he's letting it flush down into his take profit. He's kind of letting price chase it instead of like waiting for it to go way back up against him and then exiting and, you know, out of fear and, you know, trading your P&L. So the way he's managing this is extremely good. This might be the one that struggled, I think. Yeah, we're almost at the end of the video. It most likely is. Watch how good he manages this trade. I'm gonna have to look at it a couple times. Boom, and then it just like slingshots right back up against him immediately after he exits. So he knows what he's doing. You can tell by that trade, just that trade alone. Most scalpers probably would have lost that trade. He somehow made profits on it. Yeah, see, it's let me go back again. Yeah, so he sees the spot to lean against, and he's been preferring shorts because lower, micro time frame or lower time frame momentum is to the downside. We went up again and rejected higher prices, and it's basically flushing out weak longs right now. So yeah, let me touch on that real quick. A lot of traders are desperately chasing the longs right here in this exact spot. And so the short did end up failing, but he's waiting for it to fail because sometimes it won't, and you're just going to keep getting those shorts over and over. So he's not trying to predict that it's going to fail. He's letting the market kind of show its hand. But a lot of traders are going to be, kind of trying to go after the long right here. And then it'll go down and fell, and they're going to go after it again, and then they're going to get tilted and start over trading and chasing. Basically just chasing the long and taking a lot of stop outs. So okay, yeah, they're reloading right here at 16, see? But now it's stalling. They're reloading on the bid here right below 16. And he can't get that fill on his first one. So he moves it up a little. He moves it up for a one tick. So yeah, he basically made a very small profit, one tick. Yeah, but the trade management on this trade is insanely good, though. I mean, this trade is actually a really good example that illustrates what you may have seen some order flow traders, such as myself, say. If you're scalping your way into entries, you want to bell on the trade if it's not working right away. And I've noticed I've seen a lot of questions and comments about like how soon do you bell on it, and as soon as possible. Like this is a really good example of like he's not waiting like 5 minutes and waiting for it to hit his stop. That's a different style or strategy. You can do that, but that's not what he's doing here. He's manually managing the exits because it's much higher edge when you're trading in this style that he's doing right here. Yeah, so basically right away, like if you take this entry at 16 and 3 seconds later it's stalling out right here really hard, you want to start thinking about moving your stops closer. Thinking about moving your stops closer and taking profits, or just bailing on the trade and scratching it right here. I mean, I think he did it very well, though. I mean, yeah, it's like, see how there's the micro battle right there at 16 and 15.75? He can see that there's a potential shift happening in that battle right there. And then the bulls just blast right through and we flush higher. And look where it flushes to, right where they were defending. We have this imbalance over 500 lots right at 19. It flushes like right there. This just proves that order flow works. This kind of stuff happens all the time. Or it was like one tick away from it. and see how it was one lot and then it comes back down. Sometimes that can be a little bit of a sign that we're not trading many lots up into that spot. Look, 52, 38, 1, and we were trading much more down here. So it's on in this very small slice of time, this moment in time, it's rejecting higher prices above 18. And they're reloading at 18. So see how that is. So you're kind of when you're scalping on the dom or trading on the dom, even if you're doing bigger moves, it's always like you're just engaging the battle back and forth between buyers and sellers from one moment to the next. You're not seeing something way back here at 28 and you're like, oh, they were reloading at 28. I'm super bearish and we're going to flush all day long and it's going below 3,600. It's like you're taking it one step at a time. It's like, oh, now they're reloading at 22 and now it's at 18 and they just struggled at 16 and buyers were able to take it back up near 19. You're thinking like that. So that's basically, I might be rambling a little too much. Um, Hope I explained his thoughts on that pretty well. I'm not sure if I articulated that very well, but maybe I could do another sometime like this if you guys liked it. Take care though.